A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to the Vlog-A-Thon once again. And I'm going to talk a couple of things about my own history. Yeah, if you thought that my history on social media wasn't enough, well, I'd say it's about time that I do get to talk a couple of things based on the history I've had with jobs. Lots of jobs. Jobs of all sorts. Jobs that can involve hard work or soft work. Jobs that can involve getting paid by checks or by cash. Jobs that can involve bosses that are lenient or straight out annoying. So, the thing is though, I do have a rather lengthy history that I could talk about, but I feel like I've already done that. More than once even, so maybe overdoing it would not suffice very well. Even if it could, I don't know exactly where it could bring me in the future. Yet, I'm just going to go on a whim and talk a couple of things about the many memories I've managed to make in these jobs. Like, for example, how much do I remember so well about the Schwabenhof, for example? Well, I mean, plenty of new guys I got to talk to. Plenty of new guys I got to meet up with. I got to socialize with during the many shifts I had. Then, of course, I had Robert's Frozen Custard, which I had a similar caliber of, though that was a lot less time in comparison. Didn't exactly get too far on all ends, but then, of course, there was the likes of Ellen's Home, Dollar Tree, Marcus Theaters, the Hamilton School District, and then, of course, most recently, FedEx Ground. And so, I feel like that there's so much history that I could, in fact, entail on all levels. Fire up on all cylinders, because now, this is what we gotta do here. So, with that in mind, I am going to pretty much say a whole lot about this stuff. I still have a lot of stuff with me. Though not exactly at an angle where I can just show it off here, but I can describe them in any detail possible. Dollar Tree, I still got the name tag, which is customizable with all sorts of stickers. Marcus Theaters, pretty much the same. Multiple tags, as opposed to just having one. And then, of course, there were the outfits I managed to get. Dark gray, button-up shirts. Then, of course, there were the likes of pants and more. But, of course, with other things here and there, plenty of stuff has also come around with the likes of both the Hamilton School District and FedEx. And so, I suppose that there is a little more than you could probably bargain with. Though that's not really to say that everything about some of these jobs happens to pertain to some degree to not be great. Yet I'm not going to argue very often on this. How could I, by any means? And I suppose that with all this time that I've put together in regards to content creation, this is just pretty much where I'm going with this. So maybe this is just all that I have left to offer. There's been tons of great stuff I've been able to do here and there. Not just with all the hard work I put in, the effort that I was able to establish, and then, of course, the establishment of good friendship and acquaintances. By all means. Anyone whom I've gotten acquainted with probably still has some degree of memory within themselves. They could probably remember that from their own hippocampus. Or they could probably also refer to this channel by any means. If by any means I have in fact been known by them because of this alone, or possibly by social media as a whole, then perhaps that is one really big accomplishment that I've been able to make, because there's not many chances that social media is regarded for what it basically does. To how it does well in our everyday lives doesn't really matter too much. But I am going to say, if you by any means happen to remember me by any means through my work, by any means, or simply by outside of work by any means, yeah, I'll stop saying by any means, then thank you very much. Because I really feel confident in myself. I feel confident in others here and there. And some people out there might not be able to see this as well as others could. Most of the time, I just have to simply talk to them in person about it, or I could always share this with them through social media, but that runs the risk of a couple of problems. And I suppose that with that in mind, that pretty much just happens to be where I reach my limit. There's tons of great stuff I was able to do. Souvenirs I've been able to keep alongside me in my keepsake box, alongside with many of the other things that I've gotten from various trips here and there. Yet, I'm not really going to go into detail on a lot of that stuff right now. But if you want to see more of that on my channel, then make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.